Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Class of Heroes 2G Remaster Edition. Last time we completed the Barbaresco's Armory quest. Off screen I did a little inventory hygiene. The only thing that is remotely noteworthy is that I made some Night Greaves +1 for Wheeler, which were a strict upgrade over the iron leggings he was using. I actually did a little bit of recording starting on the next quest, and then I aborted that recording and now I'm doing it for a second time. I'll kind of explain why in a moment, but first let me show something else. If I take hostage situation, it warns me that this is going to be another point of no return, where all existing quests, including the ones of Particus, no longer become available. So we're not doing hostage situation yet. We're going to do Barbaresco's Treasury next, which we were going to do that anyway, but we're definitely not taking hostage situation. So let's go ahead and take this.
バルバレスコの宝物庫ですね。ヤムハス地下道のどこかにあるの。使えるものも多いと思うから行ってきて。カテリーナ、もうちょっと詳しく説明しないと。バルバレスコの宝物庫は万が一私たちの軍に。
You know, is it just me, or does the way that Bito's sword was drawn look really sloppy and half-hearted? Like, the angles on it aren't even consistent. If you look at the end of his sword's pommel and compare that to, like, the guards on his swords, it doesn't even look like you're looking at it from the same angle. Poor Bito's sprite looks a little phoned in, like it was really drawn in a hurry when you look closely at certain parts of it, his sword especially. Comparatively, it looks like a lot more love and care was put, for example, into Katarina's gigantic fancy scythe.
女王様の言うことしか聞かない凶暴なモンスターがバンをしているの。波の兵士じゃ歯の立たない相手よ。けど、あなたたちなら倒すことができるかもね。
We can definitely do it.
危険な任務ですが、宝物庫の中には戦いで使えるであろう強力な道具もあると聞いています。くれぐれも気をつけてよろしくお願いします。
Also, this is a little belated, but I'm pretty sure that what has been being translated as Elite Four is not actually Elite Four in the Japanese. I need to hear it again, but I am pretty sure it's something different. But regardless, that's kind of way off topic. But I'm gonna buy a few more Wyvern tickets because I'm kind of gonna zip around in a hurry, and I don't want to spend a lot of time teleporting around. Oh, that's the wrong category. There's something I want to show you. It's nice having so much money that even buying a bunch of Wyvern tickets is a trivial expense. Okay, so the Yam House ruins have become available. And that is where we have been told the treasury is, Barbaresco's treasury, for the quest we just took. So let's go to Yam House, go to the ruins. Now, I would like you to observe. It's sealed using magic. Can only be opened with a magic key. Very obviously, there's nowhere else to go. You might be thinking, well, secret door, right? I meticulously checked each and every available wall for a secret door. There are none. This appears to be a complete dead end. So that's perplexing. So we have little choice but to leave. I tried exploring from the Ranslate direction to see if maybe there was another entrance into Yam House from there. There wasn't. And I spent a while being pretty confused. And at that point decided to just start the recording over because there was just a lot of time being wasted being confused by this apparent conundrum. I think there may be an entrance from Mashlinia, so I'm going to go there next. And I guess this time I will... Oh, how do you get to Mashlinia from here? Which path is it? It's not Duquette, I don't think, because that connects to Ranslate, right? It's not Flake. I guess it has to be Duquette? No, hold on. It is the Yamhaus Ruins. The Yamhaus Ruins do connect to Mashlinia, but we can't get at it from this angle. So yeah, let's use another Wyvern ticket. Because otherwise we're going to have to go to Particus and then take a couple jumps to Mashlinia, and I'm just too lazy. Alright, so if we come... Yeah. Alright. This is hopefully the answer. Hopefully it's not a dead end from this direction. And now we're caught up with what I did off-screen, except off-screen it was a lot longer than that because of all the confusion over that dead end. Turn on the lights, and let's go. Alright, so, bringing up the map, we have a 3-map area. Twisting shadows, one deeper than night, claw marks in the dark. So, as well as things go reasonably smoothly, we should be able to get this done in one video, I think. Oh, we got teleported right away. Twin head. Dead head. Wow, that is a lot of sealed doors. I wish they were marked with like a different color or something on the map so that when you're looking at your map you could tell which ones are sealed at a glance. Basilisks, eh? Those sound like they might turn us to stone. But it doesn't matter because they're dead. So does that one magic key open everything, or are there a bunch of them? Nice work. Oh, good old spinner tiles. Oh, there's another magic key. And it didn't say it was already activated, so I guess there's a bunch of these things. Die, fire, scorch, scum. Good lord, encounter rate, please. Encounter rate, come on. Let me take 2 steps. Oh my god. Ridiculous. Encounter rate. Ugh. Tone it down, please. Alright, that takes us back to the entrance. You know, I'm kind of tempted to do a thing. I have read, while I was, I was looking up the answer to this dilemma. It wasn't easy to find. The whole problem with how the one entrance into this dungeon is just a total dead end. And I actually had, tried looking at Ranslate, or from Ranslate, like I said, and found nothing. So I decided to just look online. What is the answer to this conundrum? I did actually not find the answer to this conundrum until I found a list of some of the dungeon maps on the original Gaijin Works website and saw that there's another entrance from Mashlenia. And then I was like, oh, you must have to approach from Mashlenia's side. But while I was trying to... Ooh, Princess Guard +8. What the heck is that? What kind of item is that? It is a helmet. Defense 15 is insane. Evade +5? Wow. Somebody needs to wear this thing. Okay, she cannot. She cannot. She cannot. Okay, Candy can. Evade down by 1, defense up by 9. That is worth. Wow, that's definitely worth it. Alright, Holy Helm, you have been obsoleted. Can anyone else wear the Holy Helm? It is pretty much a strict upgrade for Wheeler, it looks like. I don't know why. Okay, so it very slightly decreases the maximum damage of his regular attacks. Who cares? Percentage-wise, that's like nothing. So he gets the Holy Helm. Okay, no one else can wear the Barbuta. I think the Barbuta just got obsoleted. But anyway, as I was saying, eventually I found that you can access this from Mashlenia by finding the maps on the original Gaijin Works website. I didn't check any other maps. I don't want to spoil things for myself. I might use them to figure out how to access those areas I missed in, I think, Ducat Path, because the idea of meticulously checking dozens and dozens of walls for secret doors sounds incredibly tedious, so I am quite willing to just look that up on a map instead. But for the most part, I don't want to spoil myself on things, so I'm not going to look at the maps for other stuff. But while I was trying to find the answer, I just happened to see people saying that the Summoner class in this game is really, really, really good. And I haven't used a Summoner. And for the sake of variety, Wheeler gained a level, and it was a pretty bad level because he lost stats. Candy's levels are so reliable. It's like she never gains or loses stats and gets good hit points every time. I guess the not gaining stats part isn't great, but the not losing stats is. But anyway, and for the sake of variety, I think it might be fun to have a summoner. So I am thinking of maybe class-changing Seraphi from a mage into a summoner, because I think she'd keep all her spells. I believe that is the case. She would lose the augment, though. And the augment, we've discovered, even though it sounds like it's not great, is a lot better than it sounds, the way it's described. So losing the ability to augment her spells would be kind of a bummer. But I don't feel like it's critical to the party's success that she can do that. Now, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to do that. It's something I'm considering, though. I also don't guarantee she can, because I don't know if I meet all the prerequisites. I haven't checked that at all. Just something I'm thinking about. Why is my phone buzzing at me? Doesn't look like it's anything of any importance. One reason I'm a little reluctant to class change Seraphi into a summoner is because my current party is working so well. It's not giving me any issues. And I'm a little worried that if I start tinkering with it now, making a bunch of changes, I might make it weaker. Sherry gained a level, gained luck, decent hit points. Not bad. Torn Institute top is insulting garbage. So's the broken pole. Red innerwear, yeah, is also going to be garbage. I don't think we can sell it for much either, but we're not critically low on inventory space right now. So I might not. Also, the crushed night greaves are what allowed me to make those night greaves on Wheeler that are so good, so we'll hang on to that. See if we can synth some for Candy and Grum, and if there are strict upgrades for them as well, like they were for the Wheeler. I think they aren't, though. I think they aren't strict upgrades for those two, which is exactly why I gave them to Wheeler. So the variety of having a summoner would be awesome. But I am worried about making my party weaker. Even if people seem to be saying the summoner is an incredible class online. Actually, wait a minute. I can't. Because summoner, I think, is an elf-specific class. I think only elves can become summoners, if I'm remembering correctly. And I think when I originally played this game, I had an elf mage instead of a Celestian mage, and I think I did make her a summoner. And honestly, I just went with Celestian instead of elf this time for the variety, since I had an elf in my party in the first game. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure the first time I played this, I had an elf mage instead of a Celestian mage, made her a summoner. And I don't remember how strong that was, actually. Probably pretty strong. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I even can make Seraphi a summoner, because it's a race-specific class, unfortunately. Well, that's a bummer. Guess that makes the decision for us. The race-specific class for Celestians is a Fallen Celestian, which I have no interest in turning Seraphi into that. I forget what the Diabolos specific one is. Alright, so that will lead to the next map, but we haven't gone through here, or here. So we haven't 100%ed this one yet. Okay, nothing special going on there. Shattered Knight Armor. Wonder if that makes something good. What I really want is, I think, a Knight's Mark to try making an Aroundite, but I don't think we've gotten any of those. Okay, we have not 100%ed the map. What are we missing? You know, as long as I have this map up from GaijiinWorks website, I feel kind of okay with just checking that, because, like I said, checking endlessly for secret doors in the walls just doesn't sound like much fun. Huh, I'm looking. I'm not seeing what I missed. No, this looks pretty thoroughly explored to me. Just kind of scanning my eyes all over everything, seeing if I missed a border somewhere. Ah, right here, found it. Geez, it can be hard to find that last tile. Really hard. Maybe to some people that stands out like a sore thumb, but it doesn't to me. It takes a lot of scanning. Alright, I didn't even need to check the map for that. The only reason I'm even willing to check them is to find annoying secret doors that I might have missed that just sound really tedious to try to find. Other than that, I don't really have much interest in checking the maps because it's more fun to explore them myself. Just use them as a resource for, well, for exactly the kind of thing that came up. Oh, what are those guys in the back? They kind of look like they might be new. No, they're not. Slow sources, we've seen them before. Excuse me. Anti-magic zoned. Melted iron junk. Snapped poison dagger. Whoa! Panther snake, that's new. Snake swarm. Well, they stood no chance whatsoever. Aisha gained a level, got double-digit hit points. Well done, Aisha. And didn't lose her prime stat. So well done to her. Oh man, what did that activate? Did that open this? Can magic keys open doors on the opposite side, or like not on the opposite side, on a different map entirely? I don't think that was... No, that was definitely not a thing in the first game, but can that happen in this one? It must, right? Unless I missed a secret door. Man, this map, or this area is wild. If it has like a total dead end from one side, and then you have to go in a significant way from a completely different entrance to find a magic key to open that, and then go back through that first entrance again to continue exploring it. Is that how it works? That's a really cool idea. Good lord, why did my voice crack like I'm in puberty again? That's a really cool idea if that's what's going on. Oops. Brilliant. I was not turned the way I thought I was. I'm just checking one thing real quick. Cheating a little bit looking at this map. Okay, no, definitely not. Okay, yeah, I think that's probably what's going on here. Interesting stuff. Well, let's try flying to the other side then and see if that door has opened up. And to save myself time, we're definitely going to use another Wyvern ticket. We'll go ahead and buy one. Man, having access to endless Wyvern tickets and enough money to afford them is pretty nice. Gotta say, loving that. And just finally starting to make some real use of it. For time saving. Alright, hopefully this door is open now. Crap, I was wrong. That's not what's going on. Also, I'm an idiot, because I could have just teleported to here. I could have just teleported to here. Why did I do that? Moron. Oh well, I only wasted 10,000 G, so it's not that big a deal. Okay. That would have been really cool if that's what was going on, but it looks like maybe I was right, and magic keys cannot activate across different maps after all. That means I'm baffled. What do we do from here then? Oh, I know. Duh. Ah, jeez. Derpin. There were two entrances into this. Just go through the other entrance. Jeez. Sometimes I derp out a bit. We all know this. Might as well turn the lights back on. No, not teleport. Light. There we go. My mind is just all fluffed because I was so confused and surprised by that whole, if you enter the dungeon from this side, it's just a confusing dead end thing. Oops, I didn't want use, I wanted drop. That now I'm like suspecting everything, suspecting that there's going to be more weird tricks to this this dungeon, and kind of overthinking it. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're really getting wrecked. Well, I say that, but nobody's hit points went down by that much. It's just that we took a lot of hits. Ooh, alloy. That's always a good item to get. Good, strong synthesis item for making good equipment. Oh, you're new. And kind of freakish and horrifying, as usual. And you're dead. One-shotted by Wheeler. Okay, that would be what the magic key opened, right over here. Good lord. Oh, Gore Demon. I don't think that's the first time we run into this, but it's very rare. That's not an enemy we've encountered much of. Warp. Warp, huh? Uh-oh, it was a Reaper's Scythe. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, good. She didn't turn to ash. I do miss the first battle music. As I said, this one starts to grate a little bit in a way that the first battle theme didn't, in my opinion. Something about the synth it uses. It's kind of, I guess, buzzy sounding. It's just, like I said, it grates slightly if you listen to it over and over and over again. Which we kind of do, because we get into a whole lot of fights. Supreme laziness. It's not awful or anything, I don't hate it, but kind of starting to feel like, oh man, not that theme again. Oh, did we get teleported? We got teleported. Look at these guys. I'll give you another try, Aisha. Okay, good job. Snapped Gunblade. Interesting. So if it's actually a Gunblade, both a sword and a gun, I wonder what class that's for. Is that a warrior thing or a gunner thing? Okay, looks like that was just a dead end. Alright, let's teleport back to here. So here's an interesting thing. Kind of very random and off topic. I feel like maybe the RPG that kind of first made Gunblades popular was probably Final Fantasy VIII. For the longest time, I misunderstood how the Gunblades in that game were supposed to work. I thought it was basically a standard revolver attached to a sword. And, you know, that the idea was, you know, you have what is primarily a sword, but there's also a revolver in it. And that, the mechanic in that game for when you use the Gunblade is if you pull the trigger at the right time as you slash the enemy, there's a little explosion and the enemy takes extra damage. And I thought that what that was representing was you firing the gun so that you shoot them with a bullet at the same time as you slash them. And if you do it with the right timing, you slash them and shoot them at the same time, they take the extra damage. But then eventually I read some official material on the game that's not the way the Gunblades work. That the whole point of the revolver with the cartridges in it isn't that it fires a bullet. It doesn't have a bullet, a round in it at all. What it does is when you pull the trigger and detonate a cartridge, it vibrates the blade so that the vibrating blade does more damage than it would if it was just an ordinary cut. Oh, we're unlocking that. Stun Gas's potential TPK. So it's almost kind of like a very primitive vibro blade kind of thing. Like a lower tech version of that. And I thought that was kind of interesting. It's obviously incredibly impractical as a weapon. And there's a reason that such a thing was never invented in real life, because it's a terrible idea. But for fiction, that's actually kind of cool. And it's just kind of neat to me that, you know, I had been misunderstanding what that weapon even is for years. And then one day I just, you know, read some official lore and discovered, no, it's a vibro blade. You are detonating the cartridge to vibrate the blade. In which case, even calling it a Gunblade is actually kind of misleading if you're not actually firing anything. I think that despite the fact that the Final Fantasy VIII Gunblades were really primitive vibro blades, that most people, when they think Gunblade, they do think a sword with a gun in it. I suspect that to be the case. I think that's still kind of the default of what is meant by the term Gunblade. And that usually when you see a Gunblade in a game, that's what it is. I think even in future Final Fantasy games, they used Gunblades. That's what they became, instead of Vibroblade concept from 8. I don't think the Kiki Kai is something we really care about. No, look at that. That's terrible stats. I used to really like the Final Fantasy series, but to me, the golden age of Final Fantasy was basically the PlayStation 1 era. 7, 8, 9. And then I really liked 10 as well. These days I don't like 7 as much as I used to for a variety of reasons. One of which is kind of a dumb personal reason I won't get into right now. But another reason is I just kind of have Final Fantasy 7 fatigue. Because it's so popular, it just never dies, it never goes away. And you get endless spin-off games of it and remakes. And I just kind of feel fatigued with it. I just kind of feel done with it. Obviously, that's probably not a popular take. The whole reason that there's endless spin-offs and remakes and stuff is precisely because it's super popular. So some people just want endless iterations of it. But I feel kind of done with it myself. But I still quite like 8, 9, and 10. 9 especially, I think, has become my favorite. That didn't used to be the case, but I think nowadays I would say Final Fantasy IX is my favorite from that franchise. Although it starts very slow. That is a slow starting game, which is a little unfortunate, but that's probably honestly the weakest aspect of it, is just that it takes a while before the game starts getting really good and engaging. And the beginning is just so slow-paced. Okay, we 100%ed that one, and this one. Good. We're doing well. Okay. Well, it looks like, yeah, just approaching the map from the opposite side, from the Mashlenia side instead of the Amhouse side was the answer. Kind of insidious to have this just total dead-end entrance like this. It really threw me for a loop, since we never ran into anything like that anywhere else in this game or its predecessor. I'll confess to having kind of lost interest in the Final Fantasy series after 10. First of all, 11 was an MMO. And I've played some MMOs now and then. I've never gotten super into them and addicted to them like seems to happen to some people, I'm happy to say. But they can be fun. Mostly they're fun if I have friends who are also playing them, and I'll party up with my friends and we'll play it together. But just partying up with random people is not enjoyable to me. And to me, the mainline Final Fantasy series should be single-player RPGs. They should have called FF11 Final Fantasy Online or something instead. I mean, that was probably a good marketing decision. It probably sold a lot better being called Final Fantasy XI than it would have if they had called it Final Fantasy Online. But to me, it was kind of misleading, labeling it as one of the mainline Final Fantasy games. I actually never played 11 myself. I was super disappointed with 12. I just feel like the way they basically decided to automate the battle system so that you just stand there not hitting any buttons while your character is just standing there swinging their sword in a very MMO-like fashion. I really, really disliked that, and I wasn't particularly into the story or characters either. And it's really bad in an RPG if you don't like the story or characters. They just didn't do anything for me. So 12, I was real disappointed with that one. Real disappointed. And then 13 came out, and I played that one, and I didn't hate it. It wasn't a terrible game, it was fun. But the story was so utterly bizarre. It was like some kind of bad acid trip or something. Like, it was just so surreal. Bordering on nonsensical. And I mean, Final Fantasy games have always had slightly strange plots that are almost more about a mood or an atmosphere than having like a coherent setting. But 13 just took that whole approach and just dialed it up to like 11. Oh, Army Boots +4. Is that good for anybody? Strict upgrade for... Well, it very slightly decreases the attack power of his secondary weapon. But it improves the defense for Wheeler. It is not a strict upgrade for Candy. It is a strict upgrade for Grum. But it would get rid of his regen. His 1 hit point per tile regen, it looks like. Oh, well, Seraphi could just go from Army Boots to Army Boots +4, so that's about as strict upgrade as you can get. Let's go ahead and do that then. We can improve Aisha's accuracy at the cost of reducing her defense a bit. I don't think we'll do that. Alright, so they went to Seraphi. But anyway, like I said, I mean, 13 was okay. It was an enjoyable game. I didn't hate it. But it was not as good as 7, 8, 9, 10. Or these days I would say 8, 9, 10, really. Definitely not a return to the glory days I never bothered with either of the sequels, 13.2 or 13.3. I did not like 13 enough to really want more of that experience. Just the original 13 was plenty for me. And then, of course, 14 was another online one. And a friend convinced me to play that game with him. And I enjoyed it for a while. We went through, I think, all the original content and then started on the DLC content. But I did get tired of it eventually. It does get very, very repetitive because you just are kind of doing the same sorts of quests over and over and over again. Even after you've completed the main game and all this incredibly epic stuff has happened, you're still just going out doing fetch quests and quests to go kill X enemy and gather Y amount of item. And I'm like, after a while, I just feel pretty done with that. So I didn't get anywhere near, I don't think, going through all the content in 14. Basically just the original game. And that was fun while it lasted before I just kind of got tired of the repetitive nature of the gameplay. And again, that's another MMO, so I don't even really consider it a mainline Final Fantasy game anyway. And then there was 15, which was Boy Band the RPG. And it was kind of in the same boat for me as 13, in that wasn't a bad game, didn't hate it, I played it and enjoyed it, but it was definitely not a return to the glory days. Definitely not. And, you know, being a dude, the whole your party is a bunch of, like, boy band members who really appeal to the female fan base and are, like, total fan service for them, obviously didn't do much for me. And if they want to make a game that really panders to the fangirls, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. There's plenty of games that pander to fanboys, and that's fine. Like I said, don't have a problem with it, but if you're going to make a game that's really pandering to the fangirls, don't be surprised when some of the male players like me aren't as into it. But it was okay. And then I started playing 16 on my PlayStation 5 after Armored Core 6. And I actually didn't even get all that far into that one before I just didn't really feel like continuing. It just was super, super, super dark, like grimdark. Like they locked the writers in a room with a bunch of Game of Thrones DVDs for a week, and then had them write the story for Final Fantasy 16. And like super grimdark fantasy just doesn't really do it for me. It's just not really the genre of fantasy that I like. I hate Game of Thrones, just hate it. And it felt very Game of Thrones inspired in its atmosphere. And gameplay-wise, it was just, you know, it's an action RPG. It's a competent one, but I mean, I don't know. There's not really much to the gameplay other than just going from place to place, getting in the fights. There's not like any puzzles to break it up, at least not that I encountered. Not even really much in the way of exploration, because the areas are very, very linear. So, wasn't too impressed, really. I don't know why I started talking about Final Fantasy. Oh, right, I think, Nope, I can't remember. Somehow it came up. And, you know, usual disclaimer. If you're a Final Fantasy fan who has some wildly differing opinions from mine, like you think 16 is the best thing ever, or you absolutely love 7 and all of its spin-offs and remakes, then that's great. More power to you. Enjoy. These are just my personal opinions that I don't even really care about that much. I am not really the kind of person who gets into heated religious arguments over people liking different games or movies from me. It's weird to me how some people actually just straight up get mad, like really mad, if you don't like a game that they really like, or if you love a game that they hate. I'm like, of all the stupid things to really get it really annoyed with somebody over, because they don't share your exact same taste in games and movies, really? That's just dumb. There's already so many stupid things that people hate each other and attack each other over as it is, and you really want to add that silliness to the mix, really now. So that's just something that... And, you know, the thing is, when I was much younger, you know, like, early teens, maybe? Alright, Seraphi gained a level. Didn't lose anything, got so-so hit points. Not a terrible level. When I was much, much younger and less mature, you know, I could do that too. I could actually also get, like, really worked up if somebody, like, really hated a game that I really loved or something like that. So I think it's largely a maturity thing. And then as I grew older, matured, I realized how dumb that was, and I stopped caring about it. So I think that people getting really pissed off about differing opinions about video games is really just kind of a sign of immaturity, really. But anyway, it looks like we have found the treasury. So let's go ahead and make a save. Let's take it seriously, throw some buffs on. Even though it's probably not necessary. Right, Spell Resi is the other one. Okay, and once again, it's a single monster. So, Japanese doesn't always distinguish between singular and plural. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It clearly wasn't with this particular quest. And so if you sometimes see translation errors, where they're translating something as singular or plural when it should be the opposite, like right here. That's why. It's because Japanese is often more ambiguous about singular and plural than English is. Alright, put up the wall, focus, focus. Go ahead and toss out an Omnisite. Focus, barrier, attack. Alright, let's hit it. Try Dark Bolt. Okay, Dark Bolt. Amplified Dark Bolt didn't do much, really. And down it goes. Gaining Wisdom and... Well, Wisdom's worthless for a fighter. Gaining the Vite was good. Hit point roll was A. Candy gained a level. Well, as usual, neither gained nor lost anything. Got decent hit points. You know, we really should take some of these for ourselves. I'm just saying. Anyway, well done to us. Another quest complete. Gonna be super lazy and teleport over there. And let's finish exploring the rest of this place while we're at it before we call it an episode. This is going to be a bit of a longer one. Took us a little while to fully explore this place. Nice. Good lord. Encounter rate. Oh my gosh, please. Okay, got him. Please, encounter rate. Good lord, calm it down. Sure, you gained a level. Gain luck, decent hit points. I'll accept it. And here we go. So this magic key down here, or this one. No, I think it was this one. Opened up this door. Well, no, this door right here. That was there was no way to get through from the other side. Interesting little gimmick for this dungeon. Oh geez, considering we got initiative on them, we weren't successful in killing very many of them. Okay, follow-up is better. Well done. Nothing interesting, really. How are we doing on inventory space? Very low, but we're almost done exploring as well. Almost done. Yep, longer episode this time. Ugh. Okay, what are we missing still? Oh, stuff over here. Okay. Just a big empty room. It looks. Oh no, it has a side passage. Still haven't 100%ed it. What are we missing now? Just from a quick scan, it's not jumping out at me. Riveting gameplay as we just stare at this map in complete silence, trying to figure out what I missed. This is the exciting stuff we all come to this channel for. Huh. It's going to be one random tile somewhere again, isn't it? Huh. Not seeing it. Oh, found it. It's here. As usual, when it takes me a while to see it, it's just some... It's never going to be something on the outer border. It's going to be something on the inside like that. And bingo. 100%ed. Well done to us. Let's turn in the quest, call it an episode. Let's make sure that we have enough space in our inventory for whatever rewards we get. Yep, 4 spaces will be enough. Never gotten more items than that in a quest reward. Let's turn it in.
お帰りなさい。無事、宝物庫を守るモンスターを倒せたようですね。ありがとうございます。強力な道具も多数見つかったわ。これからの戦いに役立つはずよ。功績を上げた兵士には報奨金として手に入れた宝石や財宝を渡すことにするよ。目標があればみんなの士気も上がるだろうしね。私は宝石や財宝のために戦ってるわけじゃないわ。分かってるよ、カテリーナ。とりあえずあなたたちにも宝物庫にあった道具をお渡ししておきます。
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay! Gosh dang it! The one time in the game when you get a whole crapload of rewards. Okay, at least it sends it to storage. Good lord. Oh my gosh. At least it sent it to storage. Inevitably, right? As soon as I point out, hey, you never get a large number of rewards from doing the quest, it gives us a crap load of stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh, there is no storage here, is there? So hopefully it sent it back to Crostini. Anyway, it didn't look like any of that was critical stuff. So we're going to call it an episode here. Just see if any new quests became available. They sure did. Trial of the King and Necromancy. Okay, so we just... This optional quest line before you take hostage situation, which like I said off screen, I confirmed that this is another point of no return. This optional quest chain just continues on and on. Well, that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode then. I'll see you then.